Welcome to this Tutor to You Sociology topic video looking at media, focusing on media representations of age. Media representations of different age groups are often based upon stereotypical perceptions of different stages of life, and this can impact on the way in which individuals and society perceive people based upon their age. While youth subcultures have often been the focus of the media, particularly when looking at moral panics, there are other stereotypical representations of different life stages throughout the history of media publications and broadcasts. In the digital age, this has changed somewhat, with individuals being able to produce their own content and audience interactions challenging these stereotypical views. However, some of these stereotypes persist, and it's worth looking at how different age groups are stereotypically portrayed through media sources. Children are largely seen through the eyes of the media as being innocent and in need of protection. Earlier sociological research focused on the way in which childhood was socially constructed by the media. For example, Airy's review of how childhood had evolved to become a time of innocence and separateness from adults. However, in more recent times, the focus on representations of childhood has also focused on children as victims. Gordon et al. Suggested that media reporting of the abuse of children, for example Operation Yewtree and high-profile child murders and abuse cases, have acted to portray children as vulnerable and in need of protection from the adult world. This can also be evidenced through examining children as victims of conflict or poverty, for example the focus on child poverty and free school meals. Children are often portrayed as fragile, and the media reinforces this perception through its reporting of children's lives. Youth cultures, and teenagers in particular, however, are less protected. Teenagers and young adults are often portrayed negatively in the media, being seen as troublesome, moody, and fickle. Wayne et al. Found that media representations of childhood often centre on them being criminal, and this can be seen in Cohen's view of the media creating folk devils out of youth subcultures and moral panics out of their behaviour. In addition, the views and voices of teenagers are rarely heard in the media, although with the advent of social media this is changing. However, this has led many in the established media to criticise the views of the young, decrying a woke culture around issues of social justice, and portraying younger generations such as millennials and Gen Z as being sensitive and overprivileged. Media stereotypes based upon age appear to settle in the extremes of age, the young and the elderly, with those in the middle being portrayed more based upon other social characteristics and seen as the norm. As this group is the largest target audience for consumption, many media outlets are wary of alienating the middle ground. With the elderly, there are variations in how media portrays the impacts of ageing. Williams and Yelane conducted a content analysis into depictions of the elderly in the media and found variances between a nostalgic view of the elderly as being from a golden era of society and as mentors. However, many negative stereotypes still persist. Cuddy and Fisk found marginalisation of elderly characters in US TV shows, whilst Biggs found that UK sitcoms largely focus on the incompetence of elderly characters. Once again, this is changing, with more positive representations of ageing in the media, in part due to their increased purchasing power and the growth of the grey pound, particularly in comparison with the limited earning potential of younger members of society. In conclusion, the media has historically focused on negative stereotypes of both the young and the old, perceiving them to be limited in some way, but this is slowly changing. Batchelor found that young adult and teen dramas highlight social issues more frequently than mainstream media, and this empowers younger people. While some negative stereotypes remain, particularly of younger marginalised groups, the growth of new media and the way in which individuals can both create and dictate the content that is created has led to more inclusivity in media representations of both the old and the young. The interactive nature of digital media means that negative stereotypes are more rapidly challenged rather than accepted passively, and this has led to changes in the way media producers represent different age groups. That concludes this Tutor to You Sociology topic video on media, focusing on representations of age in the media. Thanks for watching.